Hello children, welcome to today's lesson. My name is Boniface Samson and today we'll be discussing two-dimensional shapes. Two-dimensional shapes. Two-dimensional shapes. Two-dimensional shapes. What is two-dimensional shapes? These are shapes that have two measuring sides. These are shapes that have two measuring sides. That measuring side can be length and width, length and breadth, or base and height. That is what is called two-dimensional shape. Now let's go into the examples of two-dimensional shapes. Remember, each of these dimensional shapes has opposite. Each of them has opposite sides. Let's talk about number one, which is called triangle. If you look at triangle, it has three sides. But we call it two-dimensional shape. Why? Because only two sides will be considered. And it has two faces. Look at this. What is this, children? It is triangle. It has only two sides. Front and back. Front and back. That is to say, it has length and width, or height and base. That is number one. In properties of this, there's something called properties. Properties is called identities, characteristics, something you use to know this thing. I hope your head is not like this shape. Is your head like this? If you have this head, you know that you are also two-dimensional shaped person. Do you have this kind of head? Okay, let's talk about this. It has three sides. That is number one. Properties of triangle. It has three sides. Sometimes their three sides can be equal or may not be equal. The three sides can be equal or may not be equal. Now number two, this is number one. Number two is called rectangle. Children, what did I say? Rectangle is like this. I know that some of your head shapes are like this. Rectangle. Rectangle, it has opposite. This side and this side. Both sides are equal. Opposite sides are equal. It has four sides. That is, this one will be my length. This will be my width. Length and my width. This is the two-dimensional shape. This one and this one equal. This one and this one equal. That's why if you call this one length, you call this one length. Width. If you call it breadth, you call this one breadth. Anything you call it, that is what this one will answer, because they are opposite to each other and they are equal. That's why we call them two-dimensional shapes, because once you measure here, you've gotten the measurement of this side. Once you measure here, you've gotten this one. If this one is 8 cm, this one is 8 cm. 5 cm, you must be 5 cm. That is why it's called two-dimensional shape. We have another one, number 3. We have Mr. Square. Sometimes you'll be called square head. Look at how square looks like. This is how rectangle looks like. This is square head. One thing about square is that all sides are equal. All the sides. If you check your own head, if here and here If these sides are equal with this one, you know that you have square head. Do you have square head? I don't know. My own is not square head. Square head. One thing about square is that all sides, if this one is 5, this one will be 5. This one will be 5. And this one will still be 5 because all sides are equal. The next one and the last is number 4, which is called circle. Circle doesn't have any side. It's just round like this, big like this. Circle. Some of you have circle head. If you check, you don't know the side. This is not a side. This is no side. But it's still called two-dimensional shape because it has front and back. Front and back. That is why it's part of two-dimensional shapes. It has either radius and pi, or diameter and pi. If you want to measure it, you start from here, cut it like an orange. This is where you measure, and then you measure the one that you used for the circle, which is called pi, like this, and then diameter like this. Only these two things you will use and measure it. That's why they call it two-dimensional shapes. Next time we will talk about three-dimensional shapes. Three-dimensional shapes. I hope you enjoy it. See you next time.